Today, I want to talk to you about why good YouTube videos still fail. But first, I want to let you know that my name is Matt. I have three different YouTube channels, and I'm here to share with you what I've learned from them. So let's talk about why good YouTube videos still fail. And good doesn't mean clickable. And what I mean by that is just because you create an awesome video and you have the best editing techniques in the world, that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody sees the thumbnail and the title and says, "Oh, I want to watch that." So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the title and the thumbnail are clickable. And that means that when people see them, and one of the good things that I do with this is I write the thumbnail first and I make it to where if I use no words, that it is pretty clear, if not 100% clear, that what is going on in that video. What do you need to know from just the image? And then use the words as that push over the edge of that moment. Oh, yes, that makes it much more clear. The moment needs to be very short, 2, 3 words, most max. Sometimes when you're doing reviews or something, you can use more descriptive in there because somebody's looking for something specific and they're willing to take the time to read to get to it. But if you're doing normal content, you want that thumbnail to be very clear. This is what we're working on, what problem I'm going to solve for you, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words at the absolute most. All right. Now, the next reason, or the second or the third reason, I guess good idea isn't clickable, title and thumbnail needs to be correct. That's two. Three is the idea may just not be strong enough. Sometimes a video, if you're getting clicks and you get into it and you're realizing that people are just not sticking around and watching, sometimes the idea might seem like a wonderful idea to you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't a wonderful idea. So you may need to take the time to revisit the idea and determine, do you need to make a new video and release it in the future that has the stronger content around it, or is the idea just not worth pursuing anymore? The next item, or the fourth item on the list, is it may appeal only to your subscribers. This is one of the things that I talked to in about this video here, that you sometimes, as your channel starts to grow, you start building videos just for your subscribers, and they're so specific that you no longer appeal to the mass public. And when you no longer appeal to the mass public, YouTube has a tendency just to cut off your views and just allow whatever happened at the very beginning to happen. And then that video can still fail, even though technically it might be a good video. It just only appeals to such a small select group of subscribers that you attracted, that it doesn't appeal to the general public. So that's another way, another thing to think about. Uh, timing and timing and audience mismatch is probably one of the most misunderstood problems that people have. Give you an example of this. The audience mismatch, we kind of talked about a little bit. You're working to focus on strictly what your subscribers want, and you don't realize that to the general public that doesn't mean anything. It only means something to the people who've been watching you for 6 months and get all the inside jokes or all the inside tracks, or have been following you, or traveling the same road and kind of had the same sense for it. That's the first part of that. The second part of this is timing is everything. When you go to build a store, a physical store, they talk about three most important things are location, location, location. And I'm beginning to wonder, and I'm beginning to see that in the YouTube world, the three most important things are timing, timing, and timing. Now, let me give you some background on why I believe this, because there's a very important reason for it. So, for example, if I build a video about a movie star or about an event or something that's coming up, but nobody knows anything about it yet, and I release the video, it may just completely fail. But 6 months down the road, that person makes an announcement that brings up their name and everyone starts searching them. That event actually happens and everyone's looking for content about it. And it's the first day of let's say a big trade show or something, and nobody's posted anything yet except your video that was posted a few months ago in anticipation of it. then all of a sudden your video can explode and you're really the key content. That comes down to the timing when you released it was bad, but the timing now is right. So that's one aspect of timing. The other aspect of timing is that sometimes the market, if you're releasing a video, what you'll hear a lot of YouTubers do is they go out and they look at other content from other like niches, people within their niche, and they're like, well, they're releasing this type of video. I should release something like this. And a lot of times that's a very good theory and a way to do it. You find a way that you can make that video better. You feel like they've left something out. You want to enhance it. You are, really trying to create something there that's bigger and better or more informative than what was there before. That's wonderful. But what can also happen is you do it and 10 other people do it. And now the market is so saturated that even though had you been first or have you been a month later, the timing would have been pretty good. The problem is now you do it and your video is pushed off the list by, 10 channels that are bigger than yours, or and they get all the views, and then by the time these people are done watching their videos, they're really not in the mood to watch anything else about that. They feel like they know everything and your video kind of gets pushed to the side. So timing is really important there. Also keep in mind, people think that YouTube has this unlimited amount of what I call inventory. So if I've got 1,000 people online viewing videos and they've all got different categories, I've only got a certain number of video views I can give to different people at different times. And so I have to be very careful to make sure that I give them what is most important to them and that most likely will get them to watch to increase the amount of inventory that I have. A lot of people think that, well, they didn't like me, they didn't push my video, they pushed this one instead. Well, they pushed that one instead because it is going to get more likes or more followers or more view time or expand their inventory onto another video where maybe yours doesn't have the track record of doing that. So sometimes that just releasing it with the realm of inventory that they have, although your video may be on a grade of 0 to 100, maybe a 60, and in a world where there's only 50s out there, you would get all the views and your video would go viral. But in the world where you release it at a time where there's a bunch of 80s and 90s released, 80 and 90 grade meaning from 0 to 100, all of a sudden your video doesn't get any views at all. You're 0 and it looks like a complete failure. So that is where timing is super important, to watch what other people are releasing. And sometimes when you see a video is failing, go out and take a look at what other videos are out there. What else is going on? Are there 10 others with the same subject? Are all 10 doing good or only 1 or 2 doing good? And the rest getting sidelined because of their timing. And then also keep in mind that the YouTube is constantly testing your video. So just because your video fails today, and just because you feel like you're not getting the views, you're not getting the exposure, you're not getting anything that's happening looks really bad. As they continue to test this a month from now, and those other videos may die out, the popularity of the viral ones that took all the hits away and ate up all the inventory may go away, and all of a sudden your video may come alive 2 or 3 days later. And this is the most misunderstood piece of YouTube, is everyone thinks they have this inventory pool that's endless, and they don't. It's no different than a physical store. They can only put so many things on the shelf. If the grocery store is this size, then everything has to fit in this size. You go to a bigger store and they have a bigger selection. They have a bigger selection because they have more room. And that gives you the opportunity to buy things or watch videos that you wouldn't normally watch if the store is smaller. And keep in mind, this is why sometimes a video of a particular type just completely fails. And it has nothing to do with the video. It has nothing to do with the thumbnail. It has nothing to do with the title. It has to do with the competition and the timing of when you released it. Sometimes the competition affects it, and sometimes it has nothing to do with it other than it ate up all the inventory. All right. A video can the one thing that's the saving grace here, and the last point I want to make, is that videos can be revived later. YouTube, as I said, YouTube continues to test these videos over and over and over. Now, here, maybe it's very slow. Maybe it's almost non-existent. You look at some of them and you only get a couple of exposures here and there. But I promise you, at some point in your YouTube career, you're going to have a video that all of a sudden YouTube sees, hey, wait a minute, I showed this to 10 people and 8 of them watched it. This video is hot. Let's go show it some more. And it's going to show it some more. And it's going to take off and it's going to start sailing. It may go viral. It may turn into a greening video. It depends on how they found it, what tests they ran that caused it to get expanded. Not only that, but they'll take the one successful test and then they'll go out and they'll go fishing in other ponds and see if they can find other successful tests. When they find that all of the ponds work, that's when your video blemishes into a viral video. It may turn into a greening video where they try some special search terms and it starts showing up and working. And then so then they try doing other things and none of those work. Well, then you end up with a greening video that when people search for this particular word, it always comes up and they always click on it because it's very successful. Anyway, I hope this helps. Again, my name is Matt. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. I've got tons of great content coming out. And if you have any suggestions, tell me about them down in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.